just witnessed a real dickhead move at a Flying J truck stop a minute ago. I was fueling up. I was leaving, and there was a Swift. And believe it or not, the Swift isn't the one that made the dickhead move. He was in my opinion, the victim of the dickhead move. He was backing into a really tight spot, and this crate driver, this truck that was sitting next to him on his blind side, on his far side, this crate driver decided he was walking back to his truck from the truck stop, and as he was backing in, the rear of the trailer, mind you, was already between the trucks, so he was in there, and this dumbass crate driver walked right behind him and got right into his truck, like there wasn't an 80,000 pound 18-wheeler backing into that spot right there. You really got to wonder how stupid some of these drivers are. They're the ones, people like that are who give the rest of us bad names. I just can't comprehend why they're so goddamn stupid. But anyways, just making this video right now. It's a day late and $1 short, but I'm doing it anyway. Just talking about Father's Day. I am, of course, a father of one, and one that's coming. So, and I'm a very proud father, to say the least. But for some reason, I was going to make a video yesterday. I don't know what the deal is, but on Father's Day, this is my third Father's Day. But on days that kind of are about me, so to speak, and I'm not the kind of guy, I don't like to be the center of attention. Maybe that's why, but like days like my birthday, Father's Day, stuff like that, I don't do well with. And I don't really know why. On those days I'm depressed. And so I just didn't feel like making a video about it yesterday, even though I had my own words I wanted to say. But I don't know why. I just, I was just depressed yesterday, and for a while it had to do with the fact that I just didn't think I was going to be getting home. I was supposed to get home, but then the shipper took a lot longer than he was, than we thought he was going to. But I made it home in time to go out to a nice dinner with my wife and my daughter. So that cheered me up a little bit. But man, I was just, the sun is really a bad spot, isn't it? I mean, I was just really depressed yesterday, and I just don't understand why. I have nothing to be depressed about, except for this makeshift phone holder that I got. I got nothing to be depressed about. You stupid little piece of shit. Maybe I do have something to be depressed about. This is dumb. Stop it. And now we're on we're on a shitty ass highway. Anyway, this is the most ridiculous terrain. Most ridiculously, it's like a washboarded interstate right here. And it's not even old. It's like da 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 da. Anyway, god damn, son. I was depressed yesterday, and I didn't really feel like making a video. So, yeah. But there are things I want to say about Father's Day. Keep in mind, I want to make sure I point out right now that drivers are not, truck drivers are not the only, we're not the only people that have an occupation that keeps us away from our families on important days like Father's Day and other holidays. Is Father's Day considered a holiday? I don't know. I mean, I guess it kind of is, but like other holidays like Christmas, things like that. And I want to make sure that everybody, all of us drivers, don't forget that. We're not the only ones out here. We're not the only ones around, period, that don't make it home for important days. You know, you got the military. They're out there doing dangerous work 365 days a year. They're away from their family. You know, you got businessmen travel the country. You know, they're not with their family as much as they'd probably like to be, a lot of them. You know, there's a whole plethora of occupations out there that keep their employees out for lengths upon lengths at a time. So we're not the only ones. Alright, I think we are in a better position now. This road isn't nearly as bad. It's new, different material, different, you know. Obviously, I'm not a construction worker, so I can't decipher between what they're calling. This is more of an asphalt. But anyway, it's beside the point. I'm digressing. What I was going to say was that we are not the only occupation out here that is that's, you know, away from our families. So we need to remember that. Oh my God. Okay, I lost my train of thought. What I'm trying to say is that this amongst all the others, this is an occupation that isn't for everybody. You are away from your family a lot, and I've said that many times. You are away from your family a lot. And when you are away from your family for an important day like Father's Day, it hurts. Even if it's just for part of the day. I was lucky I was able to make it home yesterday. I was able to make it home yesterday for you know, the last half of the day. But I was depressed, and I don't really know what the deal is. On days that revolve around me, it's a lot of revolving to do. I'm a big son of a bitch. On days that revolve around me, I feel, I don't know, I'm just depressed about it. I just am. But like I said, a lot of yesterday could have had to do with the fact that this motherfucking sun is pissing me off. Alright, that's not gonna work. Son of a bitch, the elements are against me. On days like yesterday, and I think a big contributing factor was I was pretty sleep deprived. I was very tired. The kind of running I was doing for the few days before that were just, you know, just running my ass off. You know, going to shippers, receivers, and getting the sleep I could while I was getting unloaded, loaded, things like that. But I got a good night's sleep last night, boy, I'll tell you what. Got about 10 hours of sleep. Felt good. I was hoping to spend the day with my family today, though, because I was lucky I didn't have to leave out till later. Because I'm going to Ephrata. I don't know how you pronounce that name. Ephrata, PA. Just off the toll road, not far from Harrisburg. Anyway, I'm going there. But unfortunately, I didn't have time to do it. My wife was going to get some not family pictures, but some pictures with our daughter. And she was going to be gone pretty much all day, and it was 2 hours away from our house, so I just didn't have the time to do that. So I stayed home and all that fun stuff and relaxed as much as I could, and got a few things done. One good thing about Father's Day was I got myself a nice new stereo for my Ford Expedition. I'll be installing that when that comes. It's going to be a pain in the dick. I can tell you that much right now. I ordered a backup camera with it. See, my navigation, my Expedition has a factory navigation system, and it's a 2006 limited Expedition, so it's every option in the book. Ooh, can I set it down? Can I do it? Oh. Can I? Sorta. It's got every option in the book. But, oh, you son of a bitch. Yeah, not working. It's got every option in the book, and being an 06, you would think the navigation on that thing would be a little better than it is. But it's archaic as hell. The navigation, the screen, the graphics, the megapixel is probably 20 by 30. I mean, it looks like it was designed when the original Pong game was designed. And pretty much for, I don't know how many regions it's broken off into for the country, but each region has its own disc, its own, CD. You have to inject every time you go into it. Kind of a pain. So I said, screw it. I'm buying an updated, brand new navigation with better graphics and better all kinds of stuff. Bluetooth and backup camera, which will come in handy when I'm hooking up to my camper. I'll probably videotape my extreme novice style installation of everything when it comes in. That should be a hoot and a holler. That's right, I just said a hoot and a holler. You think I was from Kentucky? Let me get back to a little bit more on focus about Father's Day. I am extremely proud of my daughter. I'm extremely proud of my son that's not even born yet. And I'm grateful for my wife. I really am. I'm extremely grateful for what she does. She stays home. She's a stay-at-home mom. And I am more than grateful for that. I believe that it's given our daughter the opportunity to develop, to progress in her development at a higher rate than a child that goes to daycare every day. I believe that. And the way our daughter can carry on a conversation with you, compared to other kids her age and even a year or two older, it's really amazing. And I'm not, I know it's going to sound like I'm just being biased, but it's amazing to me how well she carries on conversations with you, compared to other kids that I've seen. My wife watches a couple boys throughout the week, and the one boy is a year older, and you cannot understand a word he says. You just can't. Maybe his parents can a little better than we can, but even still, I don't know. You just can't really understand him. But anyway, so yeah, I love being a father. I really do. There's nothing there's so many things that I look up to my dad for a lot. I really do. My parents got divorced when I was young, really young. I think I was about 4. Oh, hey, look, there's a company I used to work for. Good old Hoekstra. I guess I was upset. My mom said I was crying. I don't remember that when I was 4. I don't remember being upset at the time. But I was lucky. My dad married an amazing woman. My mom married an amazing man. And everybody remained in my life, obviously, as it goes with most cases, my mom was given full custody, well, I don't know if you call it full custody, but majority custody. I only went to my dad's every other weekend. But man, my dad made it his duty to come to every event that I was in. I mean, he lived about an hour away from me, but there was hardly anything he didn't come. Whenever he had a chance, an opportunity to come see me, he did. Aside from every other weekend when I went to see him, and he always came to pick me up, and then he'd bring me home. And God, I just I learned so much from him. I learned my work ethic from him. He's just one hell of a hard worker, and you won't meet anybody that treats their wife or their family better. I mean, I could, obviously I could argue my stepdad is just as good, but they're two completely different people. And I learned a lot from my stepdad too. I don't want to leave him in the dark. I learned a lot from him, but I don't know. I guess because my dad is my dad, my real dad, and so I really looked up to him. And I love my stepdad like nobody's business. He's shown me like I can't even explain how many things my stepdad has done for me and my sister. That was grammatically wrong. For my sister and me, he's done so much for us that I can't, words can't even explain how grateful I am for that. But every time I do something for my daughter, every time I parent, I think, what would my dad do? What would my dad do? And I couldn't be prouder. My dad's an amazing guy. I want to treat my kids the same way my dad treated my sister and me. Because you just couldn't find a better dad. And like I said, my stepmom was an amazing stepmom, and I use the word was because the night before my birthday a year ago, she passed away. She had a heart attack. She was having some complications, and it was very unexpected, which are always the worst. The worst for the family. She complained to my dad about some mild heart pain, she said. About 9 o'clock at night, my dad insisted on taking her into the hospital just to be safe, And they hopped in the car, got halfway to the hospital. My dad was, like they always do, holding her hand in the car. It was just, they're such a fairy tale couple. They really are. I've never seen anybody as compatible with one another as those two. They just really are. I could spend hours talking about how compatible they were. But they were holding each other's hands. And my dad just felt her hand go limp in his. And she stopped breathing. By the time they got to the hospital, it was too late. But, like I said, he couldn't have married a better person. Very gentle, very, just phenomenally nice person. And, just a great, he treated her very well. And I learned that from my dad. I learned how to be a dad, and I learned how to be a husband from my dad. And I could not think of a better person to learn that from. But anyways, I just want to wish all the dads out there, even though it's a day late, by the time this gets uploaded, I might be a couple days late. I want to wish all the dads out there a very happy Father's Day. And if you're on the road, I hope you get home and see your kids soon, because it recharges you as a dad. If you have an occupation that you don't get to be home very much for, every time you get to see your kids, it's a rejuvenating feeling. But you all be safe out there, and we will talk at you all later. See you later.